there are four groups of foreign visitors allowed to come to Thailand in August, and one of them is a specialist tourist group. Hi guys, we're just going to have a walk down Beach Road Pattaya while we have a chat about tourists coming back to Thailand. I don't know whether you are aware or not, or I'll just put you in the picture. In case you didn't know, Thailand has had no cases at all of COVID domestically in over 2 months. Thailand is third in the entire world on COVID recovery, after only New Zealand and Denmark. And obviously the Thai government are proud of that, and they want to continue to do things right, whatever they've been doing. They want to continue to be in that position. Question is really, why are Thailand in that lucky position of being only 58 deaths in total, complete total 58? That's out of a population of 70 million. And also considering the very first case outside China of COVID was in Thailand. It came from a Chinese tourist who came direct from Wuhan. So Thailand acted very quickly and ordered a national curfew from 10 p.m. till 4 a.m. and implemented it as soon as possible. And temperature checks were started in all the shops and malls and basically anywhere you went, and they had hand sanitizer available everywhere. And the other thing, which is probably the most important thing that the Thais did, and they did it themselves, they didn't have to be told to do it by the government, was the use of masks. And for a certain period of time, for probably nearly 2 months, everybody you came across was wearing a mask. And this was 2 months ago. And I think in the UK they've only just started doing it last week. So this was a long time ago they started all this. And it obviously worked, because it's stopped it in its tracks, hasn't it? So that's the background. And you need to understand that the Thais want to protect themselves. So right now, anyone entering Thailand is subject to a 14-day quarantine, because the government are worried about a second wave possibly coming. And the quarantine is working, because there are people who have been in quarantine for up to even 10 days and then developed COVID, have come in from abroad, yeah? And then of course they're not allowed after quarantine, they have to go to hospital and all the rest of it. But currently in the entire world there are 15 million cases of COVID, and none of them, not one of them, is in Thailand. So the other day the Thai government made an announcement that from the 1st of August there are 4 groups of foreigners who will be allowed to enter Thailand. And of those 4 groups, one of them is a tourist group. Okay? So these are the following groups. The first 2 groups are business people. So exhibitors doing exhibitions in Thailand are allowed to come from the 1st of August. But they have to do 14 days, still have to do 14 days quarantine. And then the second group are movie crews, so making films, making movies, because Thailand makes a fortune out of movies. The movie companies pay Thailand to use the scenery and be in Thailand. So these again, I mean, they make about, from the last time I checked, it was about 3 billion, billion baht a year just from movie companies. That's not far off $100 million. That's not bad, is it? And the other group allowed to come is the holders of the elite tourism card from Thailand. This card costs 1 million baht. That's about $30,000, 25,000 English pounds to purchase. And these people are obviously very rich individuals, and they're expected to spend around 20,000 baht a day. That's the sort of level we're talking about. And the last group, which are tourists, classed as tourists, are medical tourists, people who come here for an operation of some sort. It could be cosmetic surgery. It could come to have a nose job, or your teeth done, or whatever. You know, it could be cosmetic surgery. It could be actual, real surgery, if you follow what I mean. But then, of course, you would be in the hospital or in the hospital care for 14 days after you've had your operation. They would pick you up at the airport, take you to the hospital. You'd have your operation, all the rest of it, and then you would stay recovering in the hospital for however long you needed to, and then you would be then transferred to an approved hotel for the rest of the 14 days, which you may or may want to stay in an alternative hotel. If you have plenty of money, you can always go and stay at the Anantara or one of the very fancy expensive hotels, up to you. But you have to stay in quarantine for 14 days. But after that period is finished, the 14 days, you are then free to travel anywhere at all in the whole of Thailand. So it is a proper way to get in, but yeah, it has to be genuine. It has to be real surgery. At the moment, that will be the only form of tourism available to get into Thailand. There's no other way in if you're a tourist. That's the only way. So for the month of August, everyone who comes to Thailand has to stay in a approved hotel, and do a 14-day quarantine. Now that 14-day quarantine starts the day after you arrive. So the day of arrival doesn't count. And then you have to have actually 15 nights in the hotel. And after that, then you can go wherever in Thailand until your visa expires. As far as these state quarantine hotels are concerned, they're free for Thai nationals, but not for foreigners. Foreigners have to pay, and the prices are not cheap because they include quarantine services. When you say quarantine services, what that means is that you're not just paying for a hotel, you're paying to be picked up at the airport, taken directly to the hotel, and then you're not allowed out of the hotel, and then you have to then be picked up again and taken to a hospital for your first COVID test and taken back again, and then a week later you have to have again the same thing, taken to a hospital and back again. It includes Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi in the hotel, and it includes 3 meals a day. So that's all included in the price, but the prices are pretty high. I'll give you an example now. For something like a 3-star hotel, like on Sukhumvit Road in Bangkok, for example, that would cost for 15 nights, including all the services I mentioned, that would cost 40,000 baht, which is 1,200 US dollars or 1,000 UK pounds. That's a 3-star. And then if you wanted something a little bit more expensive, like the Centre Point group or Anantara, something like that, that's going to cost you close to 100,000 baht, which is US dollars around 3,100 US dollars for the 15 nights, or 2,500 UK pounds, and they're 5-star hotels. Oh, I did forget to mention that also one of the other services which is included is that they have 24/7 nursing staff in the hotel. So if anything happens, anyone starts to get sick, the nursing staff are trained to come and take care of you and take you to a hospital. If you do get sick with COVID, they know what they're doing. So that's an additional thing which you don't have to pay for. That's included in the entire package. Okay. So in conclusion, I would say personally, you're better off forgetting about coming in August. It's just not worth the hassle. Just wait until things go back to normal, which will take a little while, I think. Yeah, that always happens on Beach Road. What can you do? So if you thought this video was helpful, informative in any way, I'll be doing more info coming along in the future. Just please subscribe and like and share and ring the bell and all those sort of things, and it helps the channel, and it'll be great. Thanks very much for watching. You've been great.